Prague, the Czech Republic, and we're here with Neil from Eating Europe Food Tours. And I guess Eating Europe, they do exactly what they say in the tin.
Yeah, they do, I would say so. Eating Europe was started in 2011 by an American gentleman called Kenny, who set up in Italy. Now, Prague came about 2014 when Jan Matzok, the manager at the time, he had an interview with Kenny because he was actually a food journalist for an English writing newspaper. And he kind of fell in love with the idea of becoming a food tour guide, and he set up the company. He set up the first initial places and the first initial tours and runs. I myself came into the company about 2 years later, but I've been in it for about 2.5 years, constantly getting good reviews on TripAdvisor and stuff.
That's the main thing, that's the good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The tours, I mean, you do, I always think it's better to go off the tourist trail slightly. So you guys actually bring people off the tourist trail to where locals go?
No, absolutely. I like to take people out of what I affectionately call Czech Disneyland as soon as possible, because you find that in the Czech Republic, as in many other tourist spots, there's going to be an exorbitant amount of price attached to restaurants within the main tourist catchment area. So what we do is we try and provide real Czech experience. We take you to places where everyday Czech people go to. So you kind of come away with a different experience, because if you just come here and just have the tourist stuff, you go away thinking that all we do is eat meat and potatoes and sell matryoshka dolls. And in reality, the Czech Republic, there's so much more to it. And we like to help explore that.
And of course the other side of that is, as well as taking people to the local restaurants, they actually get to see and hear about the history of the city as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is something that I do with my guys, because if you can't give people food upon food upon food upon food, right? Everyone's going to start feeling uncomfortable. So what we do is we take people out for small snacky stuff at first, and then as that kind of progresses, I will take them for a walk, and that's when I tell them about the history of the country. I try and kind of steer away from the kind of medieval side of stuff that everyone seems to associate with Prague, because to me, the last maybe 100 years since the First Republic was established, this is the main factors in how Czechs live their lives and who they are kind of culturally today.
The tours here in Prague, you have a couple of different tours on offer. There's a daytime and an evening time. Tell us about the difference between the two.
Well, they're in different areas. First of all, the daytime tour is more kind of around the skirts of Old Town and New Town. This is a lot more kind of family friendly. We kind of push this one for families a little bit more because there's a bit less alcohol involved. The evening tour, there's a few drinks, there's some wine tasting and stuff like that. You know, as you know about the Moravian wine experience, we also try and kind of encompass this. So like that's the main differences between them, location and also really market, I guess.
And the standout places for you in Prague, places to go?
There's so many, particularly the ones in our tour that I am very, very much in love with. There's a little place in our daytime tour called Špejle, and Špejle is a modern kind of Czech tapas restaurant, right? So what they've done is they've taken Czech food and dishes, kind of shrunk them down, and you go there. You tell the waiter that you're there, you order your drink, and then you just go help yourself to whatever food you like. Now, this is kind of strange for Czech people. They're usually very conservative, but it's a really smart way to introduce international cuisine to Czech people. Because it's in a smaller portion, they don't feel so overwhelmed and they can go with it. And it's also good to show like the tourists that there is alternative options than just the general Czech food, you know, the massive duck leg, the big pork knuckle, that there are different ways to eat. So Špejle is one of my standout places.
Yes, we're here at the moment as well, because you brought us to today a Vietnamese coffee shop, which my first time having Vietnamese coffee, and it's stunning, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I brought you here is to show you that there are many multifaceted sides of Prague, and in fact they have a massive Vietnamese population that's kind of like almost like this little secret. They came over in the 1950s to do all the terrible factory work that the Czechs didn't want to do, but they were very smart. Basically, they saved all of their money through the generations, and now they own pretty much every single independent grocery store in the Republic, and they also have these nice little cafes. So I thought, considering you'll be going around a lot of traditional Czech places, it might be nice to try something different.
It certainly was, and very nice as well. If people want to find out more and maybe book one of the tours with you, what's the website they need to go to?
The website that they need to go to, you can go through eatingeurope.com, or you can go through www.eatingprague.com as well. Either will take you there.
Thanks very much for your time today.
More than welcome, thank
There's
you.
a recommendation for you if you want to visit Prague. Just have eatingeurope.com.